All right, welcome back to the channel. Yes, I just finished a video about 4 or 5 days ago now, and we're making another one here. And the reason why is I want to place this video as a time capsule here. So this is at the end of a complete market disaster, and I want to record this here where our algos are at the end of the week, and I want to see how the algos do from this point on for the balance of the year. Right, so not to bury the lead here, great week. The algo has the account up entirety of just about 24.5%. So where did we all of a sudden make some of these great moves? Well, you can see if you detail the previous video, the March 25 end of month video, you can see that we were long both the 5-year and the 10-year US Treasury, because they were hovering at the end of the month right about break even. And we had been long both of those for the 5-year maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and the 10-year a week shorter than that. And Trump's gonna Trump, and this guy is a shit show and an absolute freaking disaster. And what happens when the markets start to get afraid? And you could see this coming. It's been shaping up for the entire year. And people are gonna eventually run to treasuries, right or wrong, when the equity markets crack. So our algo had seen this coming from a mile away and got positioned there, and then it all came home for us. So a little bit of background here on the 10-year. I have been long the 10-year on and off treasuries since mid last year, on and off. And obviously a little early, but one thing I knew for sure is the Fed was lowering rates. They did it, I believe, 4 times in 24. Oddly enough, other than the administered rates going down, nothing else did. So we got, for the first time in history, pretty screwed on anything above the administered rates, the Fed funds rate, where they actually went the wrong way. So we had to suffer some pain. Now, that was no fault of the algo, because I have never had a treasury algo. I've always kind of shot from the hip, traded 5 against 10s, vice versa, and other means. But I thought at the end of last year, it was time. I was rewriting a whole lot of algos here, so why not write a 10-year treasury algo? And then I thought, hey, let's double dip. I'm sitting there writing a 10-year, let's do a 5-year. And at the end of that process, I realized statistically the 5-year was actually a better trade than the 10 with respect to the algo that I threw at them. So that's fine. It's a bit of double dipping. So when you're in the 5 and the 10, you're effectively in the same trade. So they're highly correlated, joined at the hip. So that's fine. 5-year, again, like I had mentioned, got long about a week before the 10. And statistically, the 5-year is a better trade. And you can see here that it has played out. The 5-year has given us 4.2%, or the 10-year has given us 2.9%. Not a big deal, but it was just interesting. I did notice the 5-year was better, and it's played out that way so far here. So let's go down and see what's the same and what has changed since a week ago. So the ES long, you may notice the number is a little different. And there was a bit of a clerical error, a fat finger that I noticed, when I was updating this as of 04/04/25 close. That's this past Friday. So I fixed it. So the drawdown was a touch more than what you see in the previous video, but same deal, same flavor. So the ES short, that's the biggie. Okay, so this was a bit of a difficult one. The latest short, we've had a couple ES shorts, so they've all been good. This ES short, again, it worked right away. In fact, it worked a little too well, because it didn't pass the trigger point where we were going to get short on whatever day it was, I don't remember, until after 4 p.m. And we're playing futures, so it was prior to 4:15 p.m. Eastern. And we got in, and if you didn't get in, just like the Bitcoin, when it opened back up again, it gapped down. So you were stuck chasing it, or had your hands in your pockets wondering what to do. So I can well imagine Patreon members not getting a hold of this thing as well as you should have. Don't worry about it. Do not worry about it. These things will happen. The fact of the matter is, you weren't long. You weren't long anything in the equity space. And that's a lot more than what most people can say, bar none. So, take the win just the same, even if you didn't get all of this. But I'm simply reporting what the algo did get, you could have got. if there's ever a situation where you couldn't have got it, well, I detail that immediately because I can see it. So that's not the case, although this ES short was a bit of a difficult one. And of course, you know, they always say the markets take the stairs up and the window down. So it took the window down on this thing. So we got basically have got your year back on this ES long short, or on this long on the ES short. Again, 5-year, 10-year. The gold trade. So you can see from the previous video that this return has lessened somewhat. So you can surmise, and correctly so, that we were still in the gold long as of the March end of month. So this is why I can bring this information to the public without, you know, destroying my Patreon service, keeping the information, you know, private to my Patreon members only. Because you won't be able to read fully into it until the next video. But you can see basically what has changed. You know, were we still in the trade or we were out at that point? So it doesn't give anyone any, you know, that frankly doesn't deserve it. Meaning in this case, inside the Patreon paywall, I don't disclose that information, keeping it for the people that are supporting my Patreon service. So gold has backed up in the last couple of days, and our algos are such that they will not exit the position until it backs up X amount, and that all depends. So you can see we were still in that, so our gold long has lessened somewhat. And no change in the Bitcoin short. Okay, those trades were taken and completed as of the end of March. Surprisingly, Bitcoin was strong, a little strong, when the equity markets were weak over the last few days. So I was half expecting to maybe see a Bitcoin short, but it in no means triggered, not even close actually. So that is my time capsule. That is the complete disaster of the Trump 2.0 regime. That's what we'll call it. It is quite the regime. Unbelievable. It's almost inconceivable that inside of 3 months, one asshat and his minions, his cult members, have ruined really what America did in 80 years post-World War II. 80 plus years of post-World War II. And shows you how fast you can lose a democracy. Just unbelievable. And at least for now, monetarily speaking, our algo to the 4th of April, 25, is up about 24.5%. And again, if you're a Patreon member and you're shy of that, maybe because you didn't get this ES long as fully as you would like, I feel you. I feel you completely. The point is, you were safe, you're green on the year, well green on the year, even if you missed some of these, because by no means were you long any equity. So all these nibblers on the way down, buy and holders, you know, sometimes that works well. This isn't the market that would have worked well at all, as should be obvious to everyone. So the algos have done exactly what they should have for you, and I'm just as happy for you folks as, you know, as I could be. So for the rest of you, come on down to my Patreon service. The link will be in the description, and see if we can't start helping you master your portfolio. We'll talk soon.